Hello, Shakil. How are you doing?
Hello.
Would you like to introduce yourselves and your listeners?
So my name is Janine Solanki, and I am a co-chair of Mobilization Against War and Occupation.
I am Shaquille, and I'm an organizer of Mobilization Against War and Occupation.
It's very interesting. How did all this get started?
Well, Mobilization Against War and Occupation came together around the start of the Iraq War, and we came together as people from many different places, immigrants and refugees, working people from all different backgrounds, youth and elders, students, came together to unite against war and occupation, and that's what we've been doing ever since.
That sounds like a good cause for sure. Now you have a big event coming up on September 15th and 16th.
Yes, we have, as you can see from our t-shirts and the posters, we have our 8th annual Hip Hop for Peace Festival, our Vancouver International Hip Hop for Peace Festival. So it's 2 days of MCs, breakdancers, rappers, graffiti writers, basically bringing together hip hop for the message of peace. And we have amazing artists who contribute their art for the cause of peace and coming together against war.
Where are the events happening?
The first day, the 15th, is going to be an all-day outdoor show at the Vancouver Art Gallery, downtown Vancouver, and so it'll be 1 to 7, a full day of amazing artists, including Obsession, which is a hip-hop group all the way from Cuba, and they're here for their 4th year, and they're absolutely amazing hip-hop artists who are bringing the message of peace and fighting for a better world. And then on Sunday we'll be having a day of workshops, and that will be at the Collingwood Neighborhood House, just 1 block south of Joyce SkyTrain Station. So we'll be talking there about the roots of hip hop and why it is a tool against war and occupation. And also we're going to be having a workshop to learn how to breakdance and MC.
Sounds good. How long have you been involved with the organization, Shakil?
Probably about 2005. Yeah.
What made you come to these meetings?
Well, I was out taking photos with my sister, and I saw a poster for an anti-war rally happening at the Vancouver Art Gallery. And so we went to go check it out and just take photos. And people were talking about things that I had always thought about, but I never really had anyone to talk to about. And people were really friendly and approached me. And yeah, since then, it's been anti-war work.
Well, this is my second meeting. I really enjoyed my first meeting. This one started in 1960s. Also, it's very important for me to show you every organization I meet how to do this, how to be able to adapt this, and definitely talk about that. So, after this meeting, it is very effective to your organization. It's free. So, definitely, I will definitely it's my job to share this kind of stuff. So, is there any closing remarks you would like to say?
Definitely. We want to encourage everyone to come out. It's all ages, all free events, and we want to make this really open to everyone. This festival is for everyone. So for more information, people can go to hiphopforpeace.blogspot.com, and it has all of the information about the Hip Hop Festival. You can see the bios from the artists, give a schedule, all of that stuff, and we encourage people to come out to that.
8th annual Hip Hop for Peace Festival. Peace, an element of hip hop. Come check it out.
Yeah, okay, we're definitely help you with that, and I hope it's a big turnout.
Thank you very much
for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks. Hello, my name is Mr. Limon. Today is September 1st. Welcome to ThrivingLive1.tv, 5th episode. We are resuming regular broadcasting. We took some time off to get ready to cover 3 major events. One is the 8th annual Hip Hop for Peace, a Vancouver international event. In Canada, presented by Mobilization Against War and Occupation, a major local peace organization against war and occupation. September 15th at the Vancouver Art Gallery, they will have a big hip hop event. Also on September 16th at 5288 George Street. And also we had an interview with Janine Solansky. And she on September 12th, she will be on the studio. We will be going live from this beautiful building here. And also the Che Carava Conference, the 5th annual Vancouver International, by the at the Russian Hall, November 3rd and 4th, 2012, Vancouver, Canada. Cuba's reform, capitalism or socialism is by Vancouver Solidarity.com. A Free the Cuban 5 event will be held at November 3rd and 4th at the Russian Hall in Vancouver. Also, today we are at the Center for Peace in Vancouver, Canada. On September 21st, 2012 is International Peace Day. Carol Pomeroy John, Canadian Peace Initiative, Thriving Live 1.tv was invited, and we will be streaming the event live with the Canadian Peace Initiative. And on September 12th, Carol will be in our office to give us full details of the event and where it is located. Also, Dr. Sol Arbez, founder of the Department of Peace, will be in Ottawa November 2nd, 3rd, and 4th to promote peace and to lobby for a second reading to go through Parliament. Also, on September 12th, we will resume regular broadcasting from this beautiful building. And go to the Department of Peace for further detail on Dr. Solar Bez and the Canadian Peace Initiative. Also, Tony Bulick, we will have a major interview with Tony Bulick, coordinator of Childfind BC, with certain statistics and facts and how we can prevent this kind of situation to happen. And I'm looking forward to this interview with Tony Bulick from the RC, from the Kerrisdale Oak Ridge Marpole Community Policing Center. On September 12th, major update on the class action suit against the World Bank that I started at the International Criminal Court. I will go into details on this on September 12th. And also, we also had a major interview with Kate Tody, coordinator of special projects of the Greater Vancouver Food Bank. In the summer months, the food banks are empty. And she offers various programs on how to restock their warehouse, and they also have a purchasing power. For every $1, they can spend $3 worth of various food products. And she will be in the studio to talk about this on September 12th. And there were 10% increase this year. And 26% of the clients are children under 15, and 12% are over 65 years old. And these are statistics are kind of I blame unemployment, the debt, and on these kind of statistics that I see in front of me here. Also, on September 12th, Afshnashe of the VancouverSkywatch.com is going to announce a reward for the best videos for Canadian chemtrails. Also, on October 1st, we will have a major update about the Mayan calendar. It has to do with the white stone and the gold being refined into powder. You'll be very interested in what I know about this. On September 4th, We will have a interview. We will interview some students to find out if they found some work this past summer. This will be a very interesting survey. And Sid Savage, a friend of mine from death sentence, also a friend of DOA, September 12th, will be a guest and has something to say about Occupy Vancouver. And there will never be peace on this planet unless we create a debt-free society. There's only one way to stop wars and poverty, and that is to put the World Bank out of business, including the bondholders, by repaying them back in full. The interest on the debt is destroying many countries' livelihood worldwide. The Berggruen Institute, they call him the homeless billionaire. This organization is looking for answers to the debt crisis. And I've been in touch with this organization. The debt equals unemployment, poverty, and world hunger and war. I blame the World Bank and the bondholders. There's an organization called the Standard and the Poor. This organization determines a country's rating status. I will explain in full detail on September 12th about this organization. I want to talk about the debt and unemployment right now. The world economy, millions of people worldwide lost their jobs, and now the government taking less taxes, and the market and the bondholders and the World Bank knows this. And they're just waiting for the governments to borrow from them. And that's where the Standard and the Poor come in, and the International Monetary Fund. They're all the same team, they're the same team. I'm going to explain how that works, and you'll be very surprised. And we also know this kind of information, most people. What we have to do is beat them at their own game. On September 12th, I'm going to demonstrate how to eliminate all deaths worldwide, and the math adds up. Now, Jacques Diouf, UN Director General of Agriculture, says 1 billion people are hungry. That's 1 in 6 people fighting for the right to exist. The solution is simple. We create a debt-free society. On October 1st, I have a big update on how to eliminate all debts worldwide, the Mayan calendar, and we put this proposal to a worldwide vote. And we let you decide if I'm right. 30th Century Solutions is another website that I operate. And also on page 3 of that website, you'll find a lot of information about the Mayan calendar. And ThrivingLive1.tv, the new social network scene. What we want to do is we want to offer all organizations free airtime at no cost, and I don't make money on this either. I'm going to explain on September 12th about the TV guide. We're going to start a new social network by introducing this TV guide, and it's going to be a 24-hour TV guide free to everybody in every organization that has a worthwhile cause and that can prove what they say. And please use the Dropbox. I'm going to talk about that. And thank you very much for your time. And we are returning live broadcasting. ThrivingLive1.tv is back in business. Have a nice day. See you September 12th. Hello, welcome to ThrivingLive1.tv. We are at the Sailors Sea Festival in North Vancouver, and today we have Dieter. Would you like to explain what's going on with this sign you have?
I made this sign because copper is destroying our country. We seem to be so in debt with corporations that he is not fair to what we have destroyed, and is destroying our mission to be having peace.
Also,
Peacemaker in the
yes.
world.
That's right. Do you say something about a world being greener? a greener world. And,
Well, that's right. Instead of exploiting tar sands, which is by far the worst oil that we have, we should develop a industry that depends on wind power and or solar power. We should do with less rather than send everybody on huge trips that burn all the fuel that we have. We should use our oil much more wisely and
I agree.
learn to live with less.
Yes, for sure. I definitely agree with that. And is there an organization that you belong to by any chance?
I don't belong to any organization except that I support the Council of Canadian,
Okay.
and my political affiliation is Green Party, but that is not really what the sign is all about. The
Yes,
sign is about Harper changing things, and he's so adamant to help the poor corporations that he needs to change the laws that they can operate in this country at their will, and any law that's in their way, Harper intends to crash them.
Right. Well, that's very interesting. Is there anything else you would like to say on your behalf and the way you feel about everything? Is there anything else you would like to mention as this interview comes to a close?
Well, I like to see somebody that cares about the people in this nation rather than just about multinational corporations. Multinationals are only here to exploit, get our resources, and leave us with the leftovers. We're here to stay, to raise our children and grandchildren, and we should have a home that's worth living in.
Of course,
We don't like them.
definitely agree with that, for sure. Thank you very much for talking to us.
You're so welcome, and I hope we meet again.
And you see this interview September 5th on that website.
I'm certainly going to do it. If I get stuck, I'm going to phone you.
Okay, that sounds good. My phone number is there.
Do you have a different comment on the back of your sign? Is that different? Ah, okay. And there's going to be a provincial election next March or April. Do you recommend a party?
Well, I think the next election, the Liberals self-destroyed themselves. They don't need any help to disappear. And I hope that the NDP is up to the challenge to take their place. Basically, I would like to see a party that's even greener than the NDP, but I'm realistic. I think that we Greens have got enough support to form a government, and that will be something hopefully in the future.
Well, thank you very much for your time, sir.
Thank you.
And next we have Lei, who's going to come and talk to us. Hi, Lei. Just come over here, please. And can you bring your sign a little lower? And have a look at your sign over here.
This is one side.
Okay, we're going to bring a little bit over to the camera angle right here. Can you see the sign?
Yep.
Okay. And hi, Lei, can you talk to us about your? Can you talk about your sign?
I had this sign made. This picture is one that my husband took when he was kayaking off the west coast of Vancouver Island. Supernatural BC is well known to people in BC. It's part of the government's tourism campaign, Supernatural BC, everyone come. Well, one of the reasons that I'm here today is because if we don't put a stop to the proposed pipelines and the tankers going through our harbor, there may not be that many reasons on a practical level that people are going to want to come, certainly to Vancouver. A large oil spill in this harbor. When I was busing here today, I passed several public parks and beaches, and I saw hundreds of people out enjoying the waterfront. I took a wrong turn looking for this park and ended up walking past some obviously very high, pricey condominiums looking out on the water.
Let's turn the sign off. Let's have a look at this sign.
Yeah.
Very careful. Got the sign? Okay. You said you were concerned about something.
I'm concerned about many things, but to bring it down to why I'm here today, the power and the wealth of the oil companies threatens Earth's survival. I mean, I'm talking about Vancouver Harbour and immediate concerns, but my concern goes way larger than that. And the federal government seems only eager to support them. Our provincial premier, our current premier, has recently started talking about we need to be paid for the risk. I haven't heard her saying we're not going to go ahead with it. There are so many environmental threats to BC directly related to the tar sands projects. The coast, the watershed, this huge natural resources. It's not only the beauty, it's our water, it's the future of our children and our grandchildren. And these companies with absolutely appalling, in quotes, safety records are trying to assure us that they can go ahead and do this and nothing bad will happen. Anyone who's heard about the 100, I don't know how high those waves are in Hecate Strait, but they're very, very large. And furthermore, I recently heard that one of the things Enbridge had done was created a map showing the route of the pipe that the tankers would take, and they left out several thousand acres of islands. And when they were challenged, there's a court challenge going on now by a person in BC. I don't know her name, but she's I can't remember her occupation, but anyway, she's made a court challenge because she's saying this is not true. You're showing a straight line, and you've left out all of these islands
That they meander through.
Yeah. And the statement back from Enbridge was something to the point that this was meant for illustrative purposes only. It wasn't meant to show reality.
And
So I thought, what does that mean? Illustrate what?
Exactly where is this area that you were talking
So I'm
about?
talking about the north coast.
Okay.
When they
Tofino,
proposed,
around Tofino, or?
no, when Kitimat is the port where the proposed Northern Gateway pipeline is going to be loading all of this tar sands through to tankers.
So the Queen Charlotte Islands area.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for your time. Is there anything else you would like to say as we close this interview?
I would just like to say that it gives me such joy and such hope to be able to come here today and have people from all nations and wonderful speakers. The speech Naomi Klein gave today was absolutely brilliant.
Is she here today?
She was here, yes, talking about the threat to the future. These people, we're here, if anyone were to think we're here because we want to keep Vancouver beautiful, that's such a small piece of it. We're concerned at a very big level. And all of these people who are strangers have this in common. And we're trying to find ways, letter writing, communicating with others, to get the message out that what is proposed is not okay. It is cataclysmically stupid and reckless. And they're gambling with the Earth's future.
Yes. Thank you very much for your time. And,
Thank
did you get this flyer?
I did.
Okay, and you'll find this interview at TribeLive1.tv on September 5th.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very
It's
much.
been a great
Hold
pleasure.
on, Terry. Can you take a picture of this beautiful palm tree over here,
Oh, the
please,
foliage?
that I've been asking you
Oh,
for?
yeah.
Collect them.
Yeah, that's what we're trying to protect.
This is beautiful Vancouver over here. We've got palm trees here. Can you see the palm tree?
Yeah.
And come and visit Vancouver anytime. Okay, we got another interview. Yes, hello. Hi, how are you? I definitely would like you to talk about this picture, and your name is?
My name is Paul Glumas,
Okay.
and I'm an activist with the LaRouche movement here in Canada. It is the Committee for the Republic of Canada. And this is a direct attack on the idea that there are limits to growth and that the world is overpopulated.
What do you mean by that?
Okay, human population grows with discoveries of science and technology and the development of the infrastructure around that science and technology. Human population grows as an expression of the increase of power over nature, which is best expressed in developing what's called energy flux density technologies. When you go from burning wood to burning coal to burning oil to nuclear power to fusion, you also dramatically change your population potential and also the scope of your economy. You can go into space and you change your scope of your science, your technology, and you change your population characteristics. The only reason people have a lot of children is if they're in agricultural situations. But in an industrial situation and in a much more advanced situation than that, people will tend to have less children. It's not a question of too many children. It's a question of lack of development. But we have an oligarchy that runs this world that is terrified that the poorest people of the planet will become educated, that the poorest people of the planet will become skilled, that the poorest people of the planet will apply those skills to increasing the productive power, and therefore they will also increase their cognitive capabilities. They won't be so stupid, they won't be so backward, they won't be so willing to be subservient. And that is the reason that they launched the green movement, starting with the World Wildlife Fund, to convince people that human beings are evil, that they're destroying the planet, that we have to cut back. You can't have nuclear, you can't have science, you can't have technology.
Well, that's very interesting. We're going to get back to that.
Okay.
Can you explain this? I know this is a little bit about this. Robbie told me a little bit about this.
Okay.
Go ahead. We're still rolling.
Okay, this is about something called Glass-Steagall. Glass was a congressman or senator, and Steagall was another congressman and senator in 1933, who passed Franklin Delano Roosevelt's regulations on the banks that separated the banks. And it created a situation where commercial banks could not be involved in speculation or investments or anything like that. And that separation protected the community of depositors from having their funds used to speculate with. And they were restricted in terms of the kind of loans that they would have to make. So that those loans were for specific economic activity. Now, there's a huge battle going on in the United States, and there's other battles going on in European nations to deal with the financial crisis by reestablishing these kind of separation. And that's the fight. In the U.S., there's 80 U.S. congressmen supporting the bill to do this. In other countries, you have other situations.
And you're opposed to this?
We're in favor of this. We are the people. The LaRouche movement is at the center of the mobilization to implement Glass-Steagall. Now, once you implement Glass-Steagall, you're going to need credit to rebuild the economy, to get people back to work.
What exactly is Glass-Steagall? How will they start this?
Okay, what happens is Bank of America or Citibank or Morgan Chase, they get split up. Every commercial part where people put deposits gets broken off and separated out. And they cannot have any connection to the investment part. And that means we don't bail out the investment part. The investment part goes under. The hundreds of trillions of dollars of debt get wiped out. But we protect the commercial part because that's where the actual economic activity is going on.
Well, how long have you been a member of the LaRouche?
38 years. I've been involved for 38 years.
You started in Boston,
And no, New York City.
You started in New York, okay. Is there a certain court case coming up that your organization is interested in, a certain court case?
Not now, no.
How about an event? Is there a certain event coming up?
Well, there's one in Germany.
Yeah, and where and what?
It's the Constitutional Court's ruling on the agreement to surrender European sovereignty to the European Stabilization Mechanism.
What day is this supposed to happen?
September 12th.
It's in Germany?
Yes, the Constitutional Court. If the Constitutional Court rules that it's unconstitutional to do this, then the euro is finished.
Okay. So, like, now, you seem to be very politically active with this organization.
Yes.
And definitely agree with what's going on here. Now, if you could change the world, or this organization could do something worthwhile, how would you do it? How would you do it?
At this point, the most important thing that has to be done is for Obama to step down. And for Glass-Steagall to be implemented. And from there, nations have to take the financial system and they have to reorganize the banks. And then we have to go to a positive economic development perspective. Otherwise, eventually you'll have hyperinflation. Eventually, you'll have a financial collapse, and you'll probably have war coming out of it.
Well, what do you think about the bondholders and the World Bank?
Well, the whole system involving the World Bank and the IMF is finished.
Well, they're still calling interest on about 100 countries.
Right.
They're taking in 1.5 billion a year on interest.
Right, but that's not their fundamental function right now. The IMF and the World Bank's function is right now to promote the bailouts.
Yes, but also, what do you think about the Standard and Poor, this organization?
These are criminal organizations that are falsifying the ratings and also terrorizing countries. If they don't surrender to the banks, they'll get a lower rating.
Well, isn't this how economy goes? Like the bondholders they're involved in everything. Same with the market. They have shares with the World Bank. They have shares with the IMF. They have shares with the bankers. They have shares with this. Like, there are people running these offices.
Right, but the main center of it is the derivative speculation, where people put their money into a fund and the fund speculates with it. And if they don't maintain a certain rate of return, the whole system collapses. So, but all of that is going to be wiped out, and the bondholders will have to take their losses.
Well, I agree with that, because the bondholders, the World Bank, the IMF, they're just collecting the interest year after year after year, and they're getting richer. They don't want that to stop.
But they're not using the funds in a productive way.
Of course not.
So that's the whole problem.
Of course not.
So we have a huge financial albatross around our neck that cannot continue. You cannot continue to bail it out and impose austerity on the population.
What about unemployment in the U.S.?
The unemployment figures have been falsified in the U.S. They're claiming that unemployment has declined, but no. The number of people that no longer are working is increased dramatically, and they have falsified the figures. Part of the falsification is that they only count the people that claim are looking for work.
Now, sir, on behalf of the Belarus organization and yourself as an individual, is there any closing comments you really would like to say?
All right. Things look very bleak, but we're coming very close to a point of decision in which we're going to either have to make some fundamental changes or we're not going to have much of a human race.
Well, I agree with that. Thank you very much for your time. And you're going to see this interview on September 5th and 6th. Also, I started Internet Service Station to give organizations free airtime. And my phone number is in the pamphlet.
I got it.
And I can give you guys your organization airtime once a month, and you can give us updates.
Okay. All right.
And,
we'll be in touch.
Okay, for sure. And Robbie knows how to get a hold of Robbie.
Sure, yeah.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you. And your name again is?
Selemon.
Miss Selemon?
From DrivingLight1.ca.
Okay.
And to report of it.
3 days ago they released a report about the 5 major Canadian banks. They said that they had made a huge amount of money. Did you read that?
I heard a little bit about it.
$7.8 billion, the 5 largest
Right.
banks in Canada. What's your opinion on that? In fact, some of them were increases of 43% and more over profits.
Well, I don't really know how they were, how that worked. I don't really know in what capacity did they make it. Did they make it in speculation? Did they make it? What part of the banks made the funds?
So even in the downturn of the economy, our banks seem to have prospered quite well.
but it's on paper. It's not real. It's profits on paper.
And how about the IMF in Europe going around asking countries for money so that they could lend it to other countries? You've heard about that?
Yes, but mainly they don't ask it anymore to lend it to countries. They ask it to lend it to banks. Banks have become more sovereign than countries.
You know, they keep talking about the unemployment rates, and they always say seasonally adjusted, which nobody really is ever defined.
No, it is. No, the unemployment rate in the U.S. is doctored.
Yeah.
It's in the 20% range.
And they even sometimes will admit, they say these statistics are only for people that we are actively looking for work.
Right.
Who knows how many people are at home kicking their feet up, not looking for work.
Terry, go ahead. Terry, is there anything else? Sure. Is there anything else you'd like to say?
No, that's fine.
Well, thank you very much for your time.
Okay.
Did you want to comment about the poster?
I just did.
Yeah, he did.
Oh.
Thanks a lot.
All right, okay.
Hi, Michael. This is Michael from the Pipe Up organization. Could you Pipe Up Network? When is this organization?
Well, we formed in Abbotsford and spread out in every direction, up and down the pipeline, as people began to be familiar with the fact that the Kinder Morgan company that owns this pipeline that crosses southwestern BC is already now shipping tar sands bitumen. No hearings, no approvals.
What does this mean exactly?
Well, bitumen is the tarry substance that they mine in the Alberta tar sands, and they have to dilute it with various volatile compounds to get it to flow through a pipeline. And so the combination is very, very risky and unpleasant, dangerous for communities, for people and the environment.
Now, do you guys have a website? You have documents and this kind of information?
We have a website. It's www.pipeup/up.net.
Excellent. And who's the founder of this organization?
It's a grassroots organization of residents of southwestern BC. We have no leaders. We all take turns. We all do what we can.
Do you have like a monthly or special event coming up?
We've been having a series of town hall meetings. We've done two, one in Chilliwack, one in Abbotsford. We're planning to do more town hall meetings, probably Surrey, Langley, possibly Burnaby, Hope, all up and down all throughout the Lower Mainland.
And is there a certain court case coming up that you're aware of?
We're considering legal
Yes? Against you? That would be very
action
interesting.
against
to
Kinder
know.
Morgan.
Oh yeah, that's very interesting. Definitely ThrivingLive1.tv would like to cover that story because this is what we do. We focus on court cases in events. And definitely we offer organizations. Did you get this?
Yeah, I was just going to ask, is that pipe-up.net? Or is that hyphen?
The name is Pipe Up, and the website is pipe-up.
Yeah, for the
.net.
URL, yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, what can we do about this?
I think everybody has to pipe up, and so however you do that, speak to friends who aren't already aware that the fact that they're shipping tar sands bitumen through the pipeline to the end of this inlet on tankers across to China, through pipelines down to the U.S. We need to raise awareness of this. We need to speak up about it, whether we agree or disagree with it. I'm hearing a lot of people do not like this. They would like to put an end to it. And so what can we do? Write letters. We can write to the media, to the editor, to politicians, talk to politicians, get more information, organize meetings, and keep on.
This is why I started an internet TV station, because this is why I come to demonstrations like this, because everybody has something to say that I didn't hear before. It's listed. Well, thank you very much for your time. And on September 5th and 6th, I'm sure that this organization is going to be a bit more popular than it was today. That can guarantee it.
I'm just curious. Were you're a fairly long-time resident of Abbotsford?
I live in Yarrow, which is in between Abbotsford and Chilliwack.
Were you aware at the time of a few years ago when they were trying to do underground storage of natural gas just on the other side of the border at Sumas?
The SE2.
CO2 storage facilities.
I wasn't aware of that.
Oh,
But I thought you were referring to the gas-fired
hot houses?
energy plant.
The building of a electricity production through natural gas, burning natural gas.
Yes, SE2.
Yeah, and they were worried that the valley would really clog up with CO2 fumes, right? Yeah, but I think they were also going to have a storage facility, possibly an underground storage facility.
It's
You're not sure about that.
sounds quite feasible.
Okay.
Is there anything you would like to say on behalf of the organization?
I would say if you're concerned about the shipment of tar sands bitumen into this part of the world, speak up about it. Join us, contact us. Information on our website, wipeUp.net.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
And I'm sure they will, especially with that cookie.
Okay.
Yes, hello, this is Elena from the Wild Salmon First Declaration.
Wild Salmon First, yes.
This is your campaign.
This is the campaign I'm currently working on. As you'll see, the premise of Wild Salmon First is that wild salmon need to be a priority above a lot of the industrial activities that are destroying wild salmon stocks. So one of the major threats right now to our wild salmon in BC are these fish farms. Yes, so 92% of these farms are owned by Norwegian companies. And yes, operating in BC waters. So Norway already has over 1,000 farms in their own waters. They have almost no wild salmon left. And so now here in Fraser River we have one of the world's most well-known wild salmon rights. And so now you put the farms right in the middle there.
Now, who should put these farms in? The name of certain companies, and why is the government letting them?
It's business.
Yes, of course.
It's seafloor is leased out by the premier. At any given time, right, she could choose to stop leasing the seafloor to these companies.
Can you explain that? The seafloor? I don't know what this is.
So this is where they look at the ocean floor as
Yes.
property is, and they would lease it out to companies that want to do business here.
I didn't know that.
So she's the one that gives the okay for them to operate
The
here.
name of this person is?
Premier Christy Clark.
Okay, we'll have to definitely
Yes.
talk to her about that.
Yes, let her know.
So now is there a special event coming up, and do you have a website, or is there a court case that you're following?
Well, right now we're waiting, of course, for the Cone Commission.
What is that?
The Cone Commission is an inquiry that was launched after the 2009 collapse. It's an inquiry into the decline of the Fraser River sockeye salmon. So this September, actually, mark the calendar, September 30th, Justice Bruce Cohen is expected to release his findings and make his reports. And part of that commission was aquaculture, as well as they reopened the commission for 3 days to look at the infectious salmon anemia findings. Dr. Alexander Morton has been testing these salmon, and they've been testing positive.
Do you know this person, this doctor? Do you know this doctor?
Yes, Dr. Alexander Morton. She's one of the leading scientists who's been researching the effects first of sea lice on the wild salmon. And now she's spending all of her time actually sampling the salmon up in the Fraser River in the coast to test them for these European strain viruses.
Now, are you and your organization following this stuff?
What I'm doing with this is taking this to Norway. So
Let's have a look at this too.
what we have here is this is the declaration. And this flag has traveled up and down the Fraser River watershed and out to the coast. You see, a lot of people are really angry about what these farms are doing to their wild salmon.
because I mean they will be depleted and also the non-existent.
Exactly. So much depends on them. So what we found is that a lot of people in Norway have no idea what the Fraser River is. They have no idea how their business is impacting the wildlife here and First Nations communities. So we're trying to take this to Norway to let them know that we don't want their business.
Now, is something that everyone wants to know about the organization yourself, why you started this, why they should pay attention to what you have to say.
Salmon. Well, for me, I grew up on the Fraser River, and you see the salmon are connected to everything. They really are an iconic species. They are the backbone of this coast. So by fighting to protect salmon, you're not just protecting salmon. You're protecting the eagles, the bears, the First Nations culture. You're protecting over 127 species which depend on wild salmon.
You mentioned somewhere there was no more salmon existing there.
It's the wild salmon in Norway.
No, so you depleted their own salmon, now they're over here, probably end up doing this.
Yes, Norway, these companies, Marine Harvest, Rig, and Cermaq, have farms in Chile, in Scotland, in Ireland, the Faroe Islands, in their own backyard, and in BC. And it's actually their goal to be the #1 supplier of seafood. So that does not mesh well for wild salmon survival.
Yeah, I know this has been going on for a while. I remember I have quite a few native friends that might talk about this all the way up to Kinkamunet.
Right.
I know they do that up there too. But you know, I was, this is why we started looking at some East and we offer you for organizations free earth. And if you have a lot of meat or exposure and back up every organization that can do anything they say.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, the big thing was when we present this to Norway, and
When will this be?
this will be probably next month.
Oh, excellent.
Yes, we're trying to find the right date, and we're actually trying to raise funds to fly out Chief Bob Chamberlain, who's signed here. The farms are in his territory. He's actually issued a lawsuit against the government because of the impact of those farms in his territory.
You know this person?
Yes.
Excellent. Well, you know, we could tell your contacts that TriGuy1.ca is available at any time. We are mobile and we cover court cases and we want to expose every organization that we're doing a good job at that.
That's great.
And this is definitely one of my goals. Like this, somebody cares about what we're doing. Well, thank you very much for your time, man.
Thank you so much for what you're doing.
I'm a little confused. Are you saying that fish farms actually lead to a decline of the natural salmon runs?
Yes. The reason why that is because they've really stupidly placed those farms on the migratory routes of the wild salmon.
And it confuses the fish?
What it does is, so these fish, you see this picture here? This is a baby salmon smolt.
Uh-huh.
Right here.
Uh-huh.
Those are sea lice.
Ah, okay.
So, well, sea lice.
Parasites.
Yes,
Yeah.
well, they cause this is one thing. So they say that sea lice naturally occur in the wild, which they do, but we have these baby salmon smolts that are swimming. They migrate out from up the Fraser River, and they swim by these farms when they're this big. And you see the comparison. So when something that small picks up a load of parasites, they cannot survive. They get
In other words, the salmon that are migrating back and forth travel through an infested zone,
Yes.
like a zone of contagion.
Exactly.
Plague.
If you look at that cartoon behind you there,
So we're going to bring it over here.
yeah, you can untape it if you. So this is just a real simple cartoon example of what happens. The salmon swim by, wild salmon swim by the farms, and it's either parasites or it's diseases.
Right.
They've got nowhere else to swim by. This is their wild salmon migratory route.
It's amazing to believe that there are so many salmon farms set up at the moment that this would be a problem. On our coastline is 800 miles at least.
The reason why they place in these areas is because they utilize the currents to clean out out the crap from the farm.
To flush out the sewage.
So free sewage treatment. This is the one industry that does not have to clean up its own crap. It just lets the ocean carry it away.
And definitely something is going to be done about that for sure.
Yes. They know, DFO knows as well that placing these farms on the migratory paths is a legal mistake.
Right?
It's something they cater to the industry rather than the well-being of the wild salmon. So,
But one thing for sure is that our TV station will cover any kind of anything that you want to talk about. You can give us a call and we'll do it right there. If you have an update,
Yeah.
court case, we'll be there. We're going to help you. For sure.
well, I'll get your contact, and I'm going to be out of the country next week.
That would be great. Maybe to send us some emails from over there, see what's going on, and maybe send us a video. What we do is we have something called a Dropbox. Yeah, so you can keep this, and if you can send us information to our Dropbox, we can sort live this thing out. Then that'd be great. 24 hours.
Yeah.
This is our email address, and this is our phone number.
Yeah, well, I'll have to update you if I get word of. Well, first of all, there's the Cone Commission, September 20th.
Yeah, I definitely have to remember that.
That's going to make news.
And where's this going to be, Victoria or Vancouver?
It's here. The entire Cone Commission was held in downtown Vancouver.
Exactly what building?
On the corner of Georgia and. You should know I spent 10 months
Georgia and
there.
Hamilton or
Nope.
Georgia and
Georgia and
How?
No, which is, it wasn't the Supreme Court. It was. Wow, I can't believe it. I remember. I literally spent 10 months there.
Okay. Thurlow, Boulevard,
Across from the SkyTrain.
across from the SkyTrain, Seymour or Richard?
Oh, that's Beatty. Beatty? No. Hamilton?
Seymour or Richard?
Is that Granville?
Granville.
Georgia and Granville.
Georgia and Granville, there's an office there?
There's a big building there.
And that's where, is this where this September 20th is going to be
That
taking
was,
place?
that's where the Cone Commission was held.
Are you going to be there?
No.
Okay, well, you know what, is there anybody that can send me some information?
What it will be is it will be an online. If you watch the news, I guarantee you right now there's so many lawyers who are waiting. There's numerous participants in this commission.
If you can send me an email, if you can go to cover.
Can you say your URL?
You know what else I'm going to do? You're going to take one of these, yeah? Yeah. I'm going to send you right down. Just look up. Okay, so the website Wild Salmon First was based on the need to understand all the various threats to wild salmon. Government right now is one of the number one threats in the decisions that it's making. So wildsalmonfirst.org goes through the various threats that wild salmon are facing and links to different groups that are doing something about it.
And you mentioned there's a lot of lawyers that are waiting for this
That's the
event.
Cone Commission.
Yeah, what are these lawyers are waiting for? An answer?
The lawyers, so
Solution?
in the past year, Justice Bruce Cohen they've been introducing every possible influence on the decline of Fraser River sockeye salmon. So, I mean, you're talking about, they talk about everything from global warming to overfishing to mining effluents. So, Justice Cohen's had this time, all this evidence has been presented to him. There's numerous lawyers representing different groups who have an interest, obviously, in the wild salmon. So, on September 30th, he has to take all of that evidence and then make his final recommendations to Stephen Harper as to what needs to be done to protect the wild salmon. So that's September 30th. A lot of people are waiting to hear about it.
And then it could take 1, 2, 3 more years for someone to act?
Maybe not.
Well, from the decisions that Stephen Harper's been making already, it doesn't seem like he's going to listen to whatever Justice Bruce Cohen recommends anyways. And that's where we're really needing more people to get involved to do the work that Stephen Harper is not, counteract what Stephen Harper is doing.
Thank you very much, and keep up the good work.
Thank you.
Good luck in Europe.
Cheers. Thanks.
Okay.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to the St. Sea Festival. How are you?
Good.
That's excellent. What are you doing here today? You're having fun on the slide?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. How old are you?
7.
Yeah. Is that your mom? Yeah, I know your mom for a long, long time.
Move your body a little bit.
So I hear you know how to play drums. And what else do you... vous parlez français? Oui. C'est quoi votre nom?
We played a little bit last week out on the Sawali.
Oui, c'est vrai.
I know I've been out to Sawali.
Is there something you want to say to the world about peace on earth or anything like that?
11:30, 12 o'clock rolls
What is?
around. 12:30 rolls around.
The earth is beautiful, eh?
Rolls around.
I think
You know
so.
what? We figured it out.
For sure.
We're on the res.
And is that your friend over there? You guys having fun today? You looking forward to go back to school?
Yes.
That's good. What do you want to be when you grow up?
An
interior designer and
Philanthropist, that's excellent. Remember me. That's excellent. That's a really good hobby. That one there.
I need lots of money, so I'm going to be an interior designer first.
Ah, that's a good idea for sure. That sounds good. Are you enjoying the music today? What's your favorite music? Hip hop. You gotta come to Vancouver at the art gallery September 15th and 16th. Your mom will take you there. We're going to cover a big hip hop for peace. September 15th. You should be there. Definitely. We'll introduce you to the band members. Well, thank you very much for your time, Eva. And say bye to everybody. Wave.